like
38.
Yeah,
I'm sneaking up on 40. It's coming.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like that's it. I'm looking forward to my 40s. I feel like your 40s are like your best. Like
I feel
you're
like
20.
I feel like 30 and 40.
Yeah, I feel like 20, you never know what the fuck you're doing. And
You
30,
should.
like, you're kind of starting to figure it out. Like, a little bit. You're still fucking up. Like, you gotta maybe. And then 40, it's like, okay, I kind of know who I am.
So far, without a doubt, 30s are my favorite generation.
Yeah.
Thus far. Also, currently in it, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Be a super bummer if I was like, fuck, go back. If I could just go back. Never wanted to be that dude, man.
Yeah.
No.
You know, my 20s were a rip, though.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. It's funny because, like, you know, I'm working with a group of people and doing some mentorship stuff now, and, like, I realize what a different fucking life I had in my 20s.
I was just having a conversation with somebody about that.
Yo, it's a fucking whole other person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm married. I live in Louisiana. I have a real job. I compete in the Highland Games, and that doesn't start until I'm 27.
Oh, shit.
And so, like, prior to that, there's some powerlifting, there's some strongman, there's those type of things. And so, like, yeah, so starting at 27, like, my entire lifting career hadn't began.
Damn. Okay, a little bit of a late bloomer in that, like, aspect.
Right. So, like, not only that, I figure what I'm currently even doing for a living
Right.
is only 8 years in. That didn't start until I was 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, yo, who fuck knows?
No.
Yeah.
Well, you're
A lot
like
changed.
your career. Like, I mean, they've talked, or I don't know. There's like research or something. I've heard people talk about like the modern person. Like, you change careers like 6 or 7 times or something. Like, I mean, I think about it personally, because like the person I was talking to on the phone before this, like a year ago, I owned a gym. I was like in a very different life a year ago, and then 2.5 years ago, I was married. I had a real job. I worked in a hospital. I had I have a 401k.
Yeah.
I started a 401k because the company was like, "We'll do this," but like I had a corporate job, and it's like it's crazy because in between then I've like done heating and cooling on and off, and like I've just jumped around to different stuff. It's like you never know, and then you get to a point where you're like in something that you enjoy or doing something that's like fulfilling in your 30s or in your 40s or whatever, and then you look back and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, no doubt about it. And I just keep trying to whittle down like what it is the actual thing that I enjoy doing is.
Yeah.
And
You do a lot of shit.
I do a lot of shit. Clearly, what I like is being moderately stressed out.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Constantly. Dude, there's part of me that feels about that like the same as training, that the more that I condition myself to handle stress, the more I can adapt to handle harder stress. And like, I don't just want it the physical side. I want it in my fucking brain too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I want to push that fucking boundary, and I want to be uncomfortable, and I want to question everything.
This is how toxic relationships start.
This is how they start.
It's like, okay, now what can I handle?
No, like that's a joke, but it's also like the truth, because it's like that. It's, you know, that person in your life. There's always that one person that you know that is always like, their life is always a mess. They're always like, oh God, like we're going from this chaos to that chaos, and it's like we all love barbell sports and like training and pushing the envelope there, but it's like that's our brain, and it's not just with lifting; it's with other shit too. It's almost guaranteed to be.
Yeah, I was always so excited kind of once. The first time I had heard it put was from another radio host, this guy, Jason Ellis, I'd listened to for a long time on XM when I had the old job, and I finally, I was just driving everywhere for outside sales. And so listening to XM radio, and he's ex-pro skateboarder, and like he's a grinder. He's a dude that was popular enough to be like on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but he ain't fucking Tony Hawk, right? But has grinded his whole fucking career. And like he can work. And so hearing him get on the radio for the first time and like actually see some success in it, and he's like, 10 years. In 10 fucking years, I'll be good at this. I just have to figure out how to stay in the game for 10 years. And that's how I felt about lifting. And that's how I've always felt regarding getting stronger. Like, getting stronger is really fucking simple. Depends on the speed at which you would like to accomplish that is the tricky part. But, I mean, bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press, moderately heavy once a week for the next decade. Don't get hurt.
Yeah.
You'll get stronger. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I think with, like, the thing that's so fun about, like, I guess lifting or any passion, though, is, like, if you're invested enough in it, like, there's always something to learn, and that's why it makes it so much more fun to, like, keep at it. It's like you don't ever know. Like, the more you figure out, the more you figure out that you don't know shit.
Absolutely.
Which is the fun thing and the most frustrating thing about life or anything, really, but I think it's fun.
Yeah, I would say, man, I remember feeling much more confident about the information I knew in my 20s.
Yeah.
And the older I've gotten, I'm way smarter than him, and I know that. But I'm also aware now of what I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's so much of it. Like, I can essentially feed myself and not die.
I have the bare minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
And no, it's fucking crazy. And it's an extraordinary life, and it does take a ton of work. And I was very happy to be able to pivot the ideas and things that came from all the strength training years into everything else once I got hurt. It just took a long time to kind of have all the pieces come together of like, oh, the same fucking rules apply.
Yeah.
Just dig in, asshole.
And do it for a long time.
Forever.
With intent.
With intent.
Yeah.
That's the big one, right? Like, it's you can't just go in the gym and do whatever.
No.
There's got to be progress. There's got to be goals.
Yeah.
Now, you, I guess, leaving this former life, what caused the detonate button push?
The detonate, well, where I would have to ask at which point.
Okay.
Because it was, well, actually, no, I can answer both. Because in both of them, whether it was like the divorce and me like going into more of like the strength and fitness realm, and then also
more leaning into a passion.
Yeah, and then even further exiting the gym and going entirely into like my own business that is my own and moving across the country and whatever. Both of those were honestly due to another individual, but it was also because like the chaos or like that got to be too much to a point where like I didn't feel like I could sustain myself or go any further in a positive direction.
Yeah, you just got to the end of it.
I maxed it out.
Maxed out that path and felt that that's not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of had a similar thing. And man, I applaud anyone who can get to that point and make the move to lean into them and decide, fuck all this, I'd rather bet on me.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what it was, because with the first instance, it was like, I can't live my life for another person. I can't keep trying to save this person, and I have no ill will against that person. But it's like, it was just like I have to bet on me in that context. And then with the business side of things, it was like I can't keep expecting something and getting nothing. And then just it's like I know that I'm better than this. I know that I can do more than this, and I know that I can get more out of this if I do it myself. So fuck it, I'm doing it myself. So
right, yeah, and it's the same way business felt for me. And I mean, I think there's something to this, and kind of Bonnie and I have been talking about it, right? And like this, there's a big fucking change in the tide, and I just mean culturally. Because you're seeing stuff now, I think, what's being called this Great Resignation. You seen any of this?
Yeah, or like it's the Great Awakening, the Great Reset.
Well, the Great Resignation is this fucking. There's a group of our population just not fucking interested in having jobs.
It's the whole anti.
Not that they're not interested in making money.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not interested in having jobs.
It's the anti-work Reddit.
Right. They're happy to fuck it. Why would I do this bullshit and go to this office and sit there for less money than I can make riding around in my car doing Uber and delivering food? There's more freedom to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And man, there's part of me that really likes this hustle culture.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love it. I love the changing of the guards. I love fucking taking that. Fuck it. It's my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that I did. Like, I mean, fuck. Pre-pandemic, I have been working in the restaurant industry since I was 18. Like, I was at the will of somebody else's schedule. Like, I could barely make time for anything. I was barely getting by. And I, like, after the pandemic happened, I obviously didn't have a fucking job. I was collecting unemployment, and I was like, let me try to run my own business. Like, let me try this whole coaching thing. And here I am, like, a year and a half later, making more money than I was bartending, working fucking however many hours a week and being miserable.
And getting to train.
Yeah, and getting to travel, and like I'm starting to live my dream life.
Of course.
Which I never thought would be possible. Like I'm fucking 25 years old. Like I should be just getting out of college or whatever, you know, and like applying for jobs or starting an entry-level position somewhere with whichever degree I decided to pursue. But it's like, I'm not doing any of that. And I'm thinking about going to college maybe, but because I want to.
For what?
To possibly be a registered dietitian. But I'm not sure because I know I can get many certifications.
I don't know that it's fucking needed. Yeah, no one gives a fuck about that piece of paper.
Yeah.
Show with experience.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just exploring my options. But
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the big education system.
Yeah.
I'm a life experience guy overall. Also, if you said brain surgeon, I would say college.
And that,
I agree. Not YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I've also been, like, I think the same way that you do. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't fucking need it. Like,
because I just think of the debt. Like, fuck you people.
Because like, I have 2 degrees, and I don't use either of them. And it's like, my life experience I got out of going from there, cool, I wouldn't be the same person.
I don't know that I don't know that I've ever filled out a job application like once that I got out of college. I opened a bicycle shop and then that failed. So opened a brick and mortar passion thing straight out of school and it fucking failed.
Damn.
Yeah, I fucking took it right, like just straight into the entrepreneur thing. So proud of myself. I loved saying I was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And being stressed out.
And being broke as fuck.
Yeah.
And like it got to the point where I'd gone back to bouncing and DJing at the strip club at night because I could afford the bike shop.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
It's a fucking bad move.
Yeah.
That's such a don't get a second job to afford your first job.
Yeah.
It's a shit plan.
Yeah.
But like all I knew at that point was like, so work more.
Yeah.
Like that's the only. It wasn't work smarter. It's not problem solve. It was just like I could. This is it. I don't know what else to do, and it was a full panic. But man, finding it early, and then like the only recommendation I have is, just stay fluid with how you define what it is you do for a living.
Yeah.
Right. Like be able to just be like, I'm someone with a bunch of valuable information and assets, and I want to help.
Yeah.
And whatever that leads its way into, man.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a service, right? Like whether that's, helping people train and that's helping them actually accomplish physical goals, or you're helping someone build confidence because they are doing all those things, right? Like that's the best part I loved about the lifting shit, dude, was that I knew after all those years, like I can count on me to perform.
Yeah.
And that's why I had the confidence to go in business by myself. And I'm sure it's similar after years and years of it, of like, I know back against the wall, I fucking show up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good way to think about it.
And that's like you and I share that same like feeling or thought process, because it's like I've been through a lot. I've lived a lot of life. I've like done a lot of stuff, and it's just kind of only recently, only this past year, when I like really leaned into like, and I started telling, like, making a joke about it, but it's like I'm the fucking entrepreneur guy now. I'm not just a coach. I have the coaching and consulting. I have some fucking investments, and I have the fucking products, and I'm like, I'm that dude now.
No, I have like 9 things.
Yeah, exactly. And
the net just gets wider, and I don't.
And then you stop wanting to list all the shit, and it's like, I don't know what you need me for. I'm fucking. It's this card, this card, this card, this card.
Pick one. Yeah.
But yeah, and it's like I have only in this past year really like hit that actually feeling like, God damn, I am confident in this. Like, I am a businessman. I'm doing this shit. Because it's like, it was trial by fire. Because I got to that chaos moment where I'm like, fuck it, I'm fucking doing it because I can't bear to work for anybody else ever again because fuck having a job.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I can't work with another person because this partner that I got into turned out to be the biggest piece of shit I've ever fucking known. So fuck it. It's on me. And it's like, fuck it. It's always been on me, so fuck it. I'm doing it.
Yeah, it was them too.
Yeah. So,
right?
Yeah.
Those were choices I made to partner with that person or any of that.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's like like owning it to that point, but because I went through all the other options and I'm like, I put it on this one and put it on this person and put it on this person. It's like, that was my decision, so I'm not fucking doing that anymore. Fuck you. Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a big one, dude. That full accountability in life is such a thing that you have. I really believe it's critical, and it's critical for kind of everything of that. You know, I made those decisions. I am not a fucking victim, and there's trauma and things we can't avoid early in life and whatever that is, and everyone's dealt with an amount of shit that's their amount of shit. But from here out and going forward, I'm not concerned with what's in the rear view. I've got to make decisions that are that way, and that's not helping predict those anymore.
Yeah. You have to own your shit in order to come out the other side a better person.
And that's work. It took me a ton, man. I know, Joe, we've talked about it with psychedelics. Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh, I was taking a peek.
Yeah, go do your thing. Run back into that one. I don't know how much you've dabbled or...
I've dabbled in the psychedelics quite a bit, actually. Okay. I'm gaining more experience with mushrooms. When I was younger, it was more the LSD.
Okay. Like how young?
Dude, I was like 17, 18.
I'm so fascinated by that. Like, because I found those to be a pretty heavy experience, but I'm going in with that intention too. Yeah.
But I was just an idiot, and at that time, like, I was raving a lot. Like, I was going to shows with my friends and things like that. So it wasn't ever like... Psychedelics at that time weren't ever like a work drug to me. It was more of a have fun,
just party.
Get fucked up, party, whatever. And then I kind of got out of that when I was like, that lasted like a 2-year stint. I didn't even make it to 21 where I was like, fuck, I'm done with this shit. Like, I don't even really, like, I drink every once in a while now, but I don't really like to party anymore. I got that all out the way from 16 to 20.
I've done my time.
Yeah.
I've consumed my quota of Jaeger bombs. I'm good in life.
Yeah, so, been taking mushrooms off and on since probably like 21, 22-ish. And it's more of like a work drug for me now, just like it is for Joe. But the thing with mushrooms is like, I, in everyday life, suppress my emotions so much.
Healthy.
That's how most people say that whenever...
I suppress...
Most books I've read say that's the idea.
Yeah, I suppress myself so much, or just like... I just like to keep to myself, or I really value my alone time and like just being quiet, and like I don't have to talk a lot. So it's like when I start to trip, all of that at some point after I get over the initial giggle phase, I cry, and then all of my emotions from the past like 6 months come out. Yeah. And it's hard shit, because then I start that never turns into a bad trip. It's just like, I need to work through this, and this is the time that I have to do it.
Well, see, and that mindset right there is exactly why it's not a bad trip.
No.
Because that's the intention you have going into it. Also, your bad trip to me, in my experience, has always been when the expectation of what you're doing was wrong. Yes. And like, fuck, I don't like the way this feels. I just wanted to party tonight. Like, yo, that ain't the way this fucking operates. It plays by its own rules, my friend.
Yeah, and so it's like, you have to understand.
Hand the keys over.
I took this mind-altering substance, and it's going to be like this for the next 8 to 12 hours. So you fucking deal with it. And, like, I don't know, I break down sometimes. Man.
Yeah, I do too.
I cry.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Man, it's for sure opened up stuff that I missed. Yes. And like, the empathy that comes with it and different stuff like that has always been wildly powerful. I mean, I really didn't get to start dabbling until probably 32, 33. Okay. Would have been like when I would have started. So it would have been after my knee went shit. Okay. was after when I first started trying to get into it. I was doing anything I could to try to find pain relief.
Yeah.
And I found a really good pain relief from psilocybin.
I never heard of that.
Man, for me, like, I kind of everything, even still, basically lives at like a 2, which
it's there.
you understand.
Like,
yeah. What's 0? It's not a real fucking thing anymore.
Yeah.
I'm aware
Yeah.
of what I've done here. It's not a surprise. But if I can dose up 3-4 grams, pretty good run of it, and hit the basement in a beanbag and get music on, I get a vacation from being in this machine. It's not an invitation to go do stupid shit, because it's just cut the filter off of like, yo, nothing hurts right now. Let me just breathe and be stoked on that for fucking 10 minutes or whatever it gives me.
Yeah.
And so it was a really valuable tool for me that way when dealing with the chronic pain, is because that was one thing I just was always looking for. I was like, yo, I just need 10 fucking minutes without you barking at me.
Yeah.
That's miserable. Oh my God.
The biggest thing that I've gotten out of like my psychedelic use, and the first any psychedelic I would have done, I guess I'd smoked salvia in high school.
Very interesting plant.
Fucking melted the universe.
Yeah.
But
it's a terrible. I
It's
can't
so
believe they
bad.
sell that too.
it's a horrible drug. It was the worst.
No.
I literally was like, I'm inside of
Can you
nothing
get
right
it at,
now.
like,
You can
smoke
get
shops
it.
or, like,
You
gas
you
stations or
could.
whatever?
I don't know that you still can, but like it's a fucking ridiculous thing.
It's
That's
literally the worst. That's a bad trip.
That's
That
one
was the
I
worst
never
time.
had.
yeah, but we
the
sell
inclination
alcohol,
to do.
which is fucking crazy.
But like I love psilocybin, and like Bree was talking about earlier, like I make fun of her because she like lets her emotions out. I'm not one to hold the emotions back. Like I've been in therapy for fucking ever, and it's like I've developed a lot of strategies to like sort through my own shit.
Yeah.
So now that like when I do take when I take psychedelics, it's more so just like I love just being in it, and I just like feel so centered, and I'm super like the way Matt you said it earlier, like you went into the expectations of you going into the trip were like or into this were wrong, so that's why you have a bad trip. Like that's exactly the story that I would tell, because like Bree and I were hanging out with a couple of friends and we all took mushrooms, and I was like, I kept getting like really agitated, like really angry, and I'm like, why the fuck am I so fucking mad? And I'm like, fuck, I hate this, what the fuck's going on? And then I sat by myself, and I didn't have a bad trip, but it like clicked in my head. I'm like, this isn't fun for me. This isn't supposed to be fun for me. This is supposed to be like a thing that I do for me. Like it's a work. It's an effort. It's a thing. It's intent. And it's a funnier story because like I came inside and I told Bree that, and I'm like, I can't be around anybody. I'm gonna sit outside. And I took 3 more grams.
Fuck yeah.
And I sat on the couch outside, and I had a great time, and I fucking stared into the darkness,
Dude.
and that was it. And 3 hours later, I came in, and she's like, "You good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm fucking awesome."
Yeah, it's perfect, right?
Yeah.
Like, and like what you're saying about that finding space and finding quiet. Like, Bonnie's, I'm a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
I essentially don't stop making noise.
Yeah.
That's me the first like 2 hours of my trip. Like I start.
I just mean me all the time.
That's
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what he
my
was saying.
fucking
'Cause this-
existence.
You are the same because Joe never shuts up.
God
I'm
damn,
off-
dude,
I'm
I know
off
it.
Adderall now. I've been medicated for like 8
Okay.
years, and I'm off Adderall now, and I'm fucking horrible.
Oh my god,
I
it's
annoy
so
the shit out
annoying.
of her.
So-
Does smoking help?
Yes. Smoking, and I'm so fucking spastic. I will listen to music and like podcasts and listen to conversations while I'm having like conversations.
Yeah.
It has me like
and
focus
it
on one
has
thing,
so much more level.
and it has me like chill.
Yeah, well,
'Cause
I mean,
otherwise
I
it's
do
like
think
all
that
over.
there is some truth of like overload to the system.
Yeah.
That like I need a certain amount of noise.
Yeah.
I need this level of chaos, or else I'm not
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah, he'll be like dancing to music while he's talking to me. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I really like this song. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Have you experimented at all with like daily microdosing?
That's yes, I do that too.
Okay.
I actually have this stuff in the cupboard. It's called laser focus. It's psilocybin, shilajit, and lion's mane.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Great
yeah,
stuff.
I take a similar product, Neurogen is what I've called it, and it's lion's mane, changa, reishi, cordyceps, and then psilocybin, like a 0.1
Yeah,
psilocybin.
that's what that.
And
point was.
I've taken it every year every day for almost 2 years.
That's what I'm working on too.
And-
like I've even when I was on Adderall, I take that.
Yeah. And man, I got prescribed, ADHD stuff as a kid and just never took it.
Mhm.
I don't think mine's as severe as other people's, but it fucking exists.
Yeah.
Weed has helped a lot, but man, the difference that the microdosing made for me was I developed enough discipline to ignore the shit that's a distraction.
Uh-huh.
But there's still X amount of energy being spent on ignoring a distraction.
Yes.
And with the assistance of the psilocybin for me, I don't see the distraction. So there's no energy even being wasted having discipline to not see it is how it feels. I'm just in whatever it is I'm doing. And I seem to also be able to react to stress a little bit better, more positively, and not freak out and not let whatever that burned in fucking emotional pattern that is anger first
Yeah.
and then bring ration around the corner.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just trying to shorten that front window, and like
Yeah.
it's gotten better over time, but fuck, I still run into it, dude. I have moments where I'm like, yo, 10 minutes from now, you're gonna say, why didn't you fucking just catch a breather and
Yeah.
fucking know this is where we're going? And it's just like, fuck, if I could just unwire that part that has to go through this stage first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you can.
I do too, but I think there's going to be a lot of moments where you're having those like conversations with your significant other, or you're at work or whatever work is, or like doing this thing, and you feel yourself like, this is going to happen. We're working towards this because it's like we'll be talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're going to argue.
You have to
I know we're
you
gonna
have to
argue,
you have to catch it on the
but
front
I'm
end.
going to keep fucking going, and I'll be like, hey, are you done with this peanut butter? It's been sitting there for like 4 hours. And she's like, what the fuck do you think? And I'm like, and it just fucking spirals.
Oh man, you guys are in a young man's game of a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, bro, I fucking cook everything. You can put my peanut butter back.
Right.
Like, damn.
So this is a weird thing I've landed on, trying to be better at relationships. Man, it was really tricky to come out of 13 years of marriage and then into another relationship and realize like how much shorthand isn't there just with interacting with another person for that long.
Yeah.
And I could feel myself like wanting to create old patterns of like, yo, things are supposed to be done this way. Like I learned that for the last 13 years of my life. And something clicked and I'm like, yo, none of the things that you want to fix matter. Who fucking gives a shit how the dishwasher's loaded? Did the dishes get clean? Who fucking gives a shit?
Yeah.
Or fix it.
Yeah.
These are the two options because this other person doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm also aware that there are things around my house that she gives a fuck about that I just don't see.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm being a prick to ignore it.
Uh-huh.
I don't see it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not someone that's going to sweep on a regular basis. It's just not in my existence.
Yeah.
Whereas that's a thing for Bonnie,
And
right?
yeah, because it's like women, I'm like scanning the floor. It's like, how do you not see that? Why would you not just think to sweep? And he's like, I need a list. I need a list of things.
And that's the thing. She's like, I don't want to feel like I'm nagging you. And I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking ADHD. If you do not remind me, it's not.
Nagging is also a tone.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, it's like I just gentle, like, hey, go do this thing, and then understand that if I don't do the thing, I'm not going out of my way to fuck it over. I'm not saying fuck Brianny Terry specifically.
Right.
I hope she stubs her toe today.
It feels that way.
No, it's funny though, right?
It's
Like,
literally just like I just forgot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
dude, I'm one of the things that I just got done re-listening to is this book, The Four Agreements.
Okay.
by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's great.
Why does that
I've
sound familiar?
heard of that, and then I
Dude,
forgot about it. But I just remembered.
it's such a good listen.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not going to be able to rattle them off as is, but like two of them are like be impeccable with your word and don't take anything personal. Ever.
Yeah. That's one lesson that I am not always the best at, but one that I've really learned to start to understand and like embody. Because I used to take shit so personally, or like, you know, as you get more, I guess, quote unquote, fame on the internet, or i.e. Instagram, the more people are going to say something about you. And it's like, it took me a really long time that I'm confident to say that nothing that anybody says is like a reflection of me. It's a reflection
I can't
of them.
imagine dealing with that in my 20s, by the way. Like, I just want to be really fucking clear on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all that as a grown man to where it never shooks me.
Yeah.
But I remember bullshit in my 20s and having those feelings. Like, I can't fucking imagine getting that spotlight at that age.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fucking empathy for that dude.
Yeah.
I think it's brutal.
Yeah, it's weird too because it happened, I feel like, to me so fast. Like, before powerlifting, I was a fucking regular ass person on Instagram. Like, you know, like I had like 200 followers and they were like my family and friends. And then I started powerlifting, and then I did my first big meet, which is the Kern. And at that time I had like 1,500 followers. And so now here I am 2 years later at like 30 something, which obviously isn't to his level or like to your level or whatever.
Yeah,
but it's
let me tell you what on that.
Yeah.
You know, it is fucking relative.
Yeah, there's big assholes in whatever group. But I feel like it happened so fast that I never really grasped the concept of what it is to like have that type of attention, or have those people who you don't even know say horrible shit to you.
Horrible shit.
Horrible. And it's just, I mean, it took me a little bit of therapy, and like obviously just fucking growing up and being around people like him or you or people who have been in the game long enough to, it's just like, now I'm just like, just fucking delete the comment and log off. Like, it doesn't bother me.
I don't choose to give you any control, my friend.
Yeah, like you are taking the time out of your day to write something negative about me, and I'm here living my life and my dream and doing all this cool fun shit, and you don't matter. Like,
right. You don't get a vote.
No. And
that's the thing, right?
Feels
Like, that's
so good to like not give a fuck, because I truly don't. You can say I'm ugly or whatever. I don't care. People who are in my life matter.
You know,
so.
And I think all of that it has created this very interesting thing within our culture, that, you know, we don't pay attention to positive comments. We don't.
Yeah.
So we always focus on the negative. Look who else has figured this out. All of our media outlets. And so that's why we're shown what we're shown, is because outraged people fucking watch more. Happy people go on with shit.
Yeah.
Outraged people fucking watch more. People that operate out of fear are great consumers. And that's what they want. Like, anything that's a media thing providing information, if they run commercials, that makes them entertainment. That's it. And if you're an entertainment channel, the goal is eyes.
Yeah.
So understand you're being gamed by any information out there,
and do you
right?
know how much more peaceful my life has been since I haven't reacted like nearly as much? Like, if you let things die and not even acknowledge it, they will die.
Yep.
It might feel like shit in that very, 24 hours or whatever it is, but a week later, it's not going to matter.
I made a really strict policy very early on with myself that I'll never engage with negative bullshit. I think I've only gotten baited into it once or twice. And
There's some good ones.
I've had one where I'm like, God damn it, I know I have to jump in on this. And I'm like... but for the most part, like, I just decided that, like, I'm only going to push positivity. And, like, the people that want to follow and not be into it, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm here for the ones that raise their hands.
Yeah, which is an overwhelming majority.
An overwhelming number of people,
Yeah.
right? That, like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't get it. I'm not interested in selling
you
you
keep
on
watching.
I'm not interested in selling you on why what I'm doing's fun.
Yeah, I'm having
You
fun,
don't get a vote.
Yeah, that's it.
I want other people to realize that like, no one gets a fucking vote.
Yeah.
There's consequences for your fucking actions.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to own those, and that's part of being fully accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's, and it's just like, I don't know. I love the whole idea of like, I'm only going to do the positive thing. I'm only going to do like that, the positivity and whatnot. But it's like, I think it's just we should focus on being like realistic, but in the sense of being realistic, like understand that it's like the more positive we put out, the more positive we engage with, the more positive we feel and do and make other people feel. That's a very realistic way of looking at it. If you say that if I do all those things, it's going to make shit more positive. So if you know that it's like, if I do this, then this must happen, let's fucking do a lot of that. Understand that it's like, sometimes you might have to deal with negative, or like you might have to engage with it more than you'd like to, or you're not going to do it right all the time. But if you just do it mindfully with intent and lean into the positive and lean into yourself.
I ride that fine line though of like spreading positivity, but also like standing up for myself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit more combative than I need to be sometimes. But I feel like either if it's directed at me or something that I believe in, if I have the platform to speak out against it, I'm going to use that. If that makes sense.
I've said the whole, like I've said this before. It's if you have the ability to do good, you also have the obligation to do good.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Jesuit thing. Fucking.
I think it depends on who has spouted off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really fucking stupid people don't deserve the energy.
Yeah.
And so I don't care that you're yelling. You know what I mean? Like I don't have any intention of. I love nature. I love being outside. And if some guy was outside yelling that the sky sucks,
Yeah. You just kind of shrug.
I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I have no interest in like what is it? You don't see bees explaining to flies why honey's better than shit.
Yeah.
Cool, man. More sky from me.
Yeah.
Also, if you're fucking super stoked on however you think that goes, right on. I don't care. It doesn't affect how much I enjoy the sky.
Level of not give a fuck.
It's
I'll get there one day.
it's almost
I'll get there
40.
one day. Yeah, I got some time to put in.
For sure. Now, do you think, Joe, like, because, man, you even, despite being 10 years younger than me, I've watching your career in powerlifting, you came up through what I considered kind of real ranks of powerlifting, being in the Midwest, and like being over there with Elite and being around that whole group.
Uh-huh.
I still feel like it's a unique place. Like I know, like me personally, because I still have this relationship with Dave or Jim, there is this tie back to the old guard.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is special. It is special, and it's like the new generation. There are special people in it.
Fucking wildly talented.
Yeah. No, and it's not, but it's not talent. I'm not talking about talent. I'm talking about what you were talking about. Because I get, it's like that. I hate the word. I don't hate it, but it's like it's vibe or like the energy or whatever. Like that. Like that's what made West Side what West Side was.
Yeah, it wasn't the program.
No, it was the mentality that like fucking goddamn Vogelpol, whoever it was, broke his fucking arm or whatever the hell, and then like fucking they tied him to a bench and were like, fucking do floor press, idiot. Like it's that mentality.
Right.
It's like fuck, like not overly macho, but it's like this is what we do. We're gonna fucking do it well, and we're gonna eat it or it's gonna eat us.
Well, it's a group of dudes that are ride or die about a thing that has no really anything to gain from it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we believe
fucking jack shit.
Yes. We believe this and we believe it. We believe it so hard and fuck you, that's why.
Well, like, and not only that, it's like, yeah, I want to see what the fucking machine can do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm interested to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't find that
anymore.
But the rad part about it too, right? It's so fucking ingrained blue collar, and it's one of those things I've always loved about weightlifting is there's no fucking tax brackets here. It doesn't give a fuck. It cares a bit who your parents are, just not what they did for a living. Genetics still matters.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, this is an even fucking playing field. And that's one of the things I've always loved about Strong is, whether you're, training in that shitty garage gym that you're just trying to figure out and get started and barely getting it done, or you're The Rock. If you're getting stronger, like you didn't outsource it.
Yeah.
Both those dudes still have to do the same shit. And like, that's why for me, like the respect for strength, whether it's bodybuilding or the CrossFit guys, like, if you've done it, we have something in common.
Yeah.
That's it. And that right there, that we have something in common thing, that's what I want, like what I would want to stress to like anybody, any of like a newer generation powerlifter, because I've had this thought a lot of times, like we have so much more in common, and it's like trendy to shit talk West Side and like that type of shit. But the thing is, and it's like, yeah, some of the fucking things are funny, but
look, Louis is hysterical. Louis is a fucking cartoon
fucking
character.
Maniac. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I love completely unreasonable people.
And that's completely unreasonable. But what I'm saying is, we have more in common than we do than we do have. Yeah, than not, because all it would have taken would have been if I were to be born in Columbus, and I lived there, and I was living around West Side, and somehow found myself in powerlifting, I would have absolutely been one of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I know so many other powerlifters that have either shit talk West Side or like the culture, the do or die culture. I'm like, if you the universe decided to put you there at that time, you'd absolutely be there too. Because I have fucking video on my phone from when I ruptured my bicep tendon 2 days after the surgery with the nerve block still in my hand. I squat 825 for a triple to a high box, and I look at Dave Tate and I say, "Fuck you."
Yeah, fucking bitch it, dude.
But that's the thing. It's like it's just situational.
I feel like if you didn't grow up or lift in that era, you don't really have much respect for it. Like newer generational powerlifters, we don't get it. We don't get it.
I agree with that, and it's because like
you guys never got to be around geared lifting,
and
that's where the real disconnect. Because the geared lifting was such a different ball.
Yeah, that's why I'm like a unicorn in this sense. Because
same. It's like I just wasn't a very good geared lifter or power lifter.
Yeah.
To whatever extent.
Yeah.
It was fine.
But yeah, it is such a different powerlifting hasn't been around. I mean, it's been around long, but like that era to this era, like it really wasn't that long. But like the divide between is so large.
Yeah, and like my experience powerlifting, training with a group of people, I got to do some raw lifting at the end of my career with a good group, like really on my own more once I'd got into Highland Games. But like my powerlifting time was spent with Gary Frank's group down in Louisiana, and like this group of lunatics.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there was also so much more like camaraderie in that time too, because it's like
there were cliques. It was the same way it is because there wasn't internet.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like now it's like we don't really have. There are like some gym cliques and whatever people that train around, but it's like all of our gym cliques live in different different states because we're all friends on the internet.
Yes.
That's how we get along, like compete against each other and shit like that. Not even just competition, but it's like I don't get to train with this person who lives 300 miles away, so I'm just gonna talk with them virtually and shit like that. So it's so different.
It can be an asset or it can be something that's a big fight for people. And the social media aspect of everything has changed my fucking life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like access to people that I've gotten to spend time with and friends and mentors that I've got to meet, have shaped everything.
Yeah. And it used to be creepy to meet people on the internet.
Yeah.
That's how I made literally like all my friends now.
Right.
That's how we started dating.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. I wouldn't be doing the shit that I was doing. Like, how the fuck would I have clients?
No, it's dude. I will never shit talk social media.
Yep.
It is nothing but fire. That's all it is. This is the latest invention of fire that we have fucking come up with.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very fascinating time.
It is.
As things are going to continue to change, it will be harder to make a living doing it.
Yeah. I think a huge shift for me was like a lot of people think that the negative is like or the internet is a negative place, and like it can be, but it's like at the end of the day, again, self-accountability, you choose what you see on Instagram. If you don't like what that person is posting, you can unfollow them, you can hide their shit.
It's a mirror,
like,
man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just reflecting shit that you don't.
Yeah, if you spend time looking at shit that aggravates you, whether that's political or people or commenting or looking at it longer than you look at the cat photos you like, it's gonna show you more. It doesn't have an opinion.
Yeah, it's like no one reads that shit.
It says show him more of the ones he looks at longer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck. Again, back to it's your fault.
Accountability.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Everything you're angry at in life is your fault.
But like, yeah, sure, right? You know, I mean,
Blanket
for all
statement.
extents and purposes, like if we're gonna get really some outlier shit, there's gnarly stuff.
Yeah.
But listen, if you are listening to this podcast, I'm willing to bet things are doing relatively okay.
Yeah.
Your ears work and you are breathing air.
And you have access to technology.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is all the information I have access to. Which is all the information of ever is in our pockets, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It is.
Little smartphones.
That blows my mind every day.
Yeah, man, it was. Dude, I love this, right? Like, to get to travel around and meet and talk to people and, like, share conversations. I was doing this long before, right? Like, when I started getting into the Highland Games, that's how it all started for me, is I just wanted to go train at places because I'm such I need to experience it for me to believe it.
Okay.
Type of thing. And so that's another one now I can look back as like a common thread through life is like, oh, you have to see it firsthand for you to fucking buy in.
Yeah.
And so that was like my training partner. I had a real job, and so my training partner had like spring break from college, and we went and trained at Elite for a week. Mm-hmm. Drove up to fucking Ohio. I booked work meetings around the area, like in fucking Lima and Toledo, and I would drive to those places and then drive all the way back to London to train. And at that time, like, dude, one of my fucking goals in life was to meet Wendler, as any other number of idiots in that time frame of powerlifting wanted to do. And yeah, I was training there for a week. He came in and we ended up shooting the shit. And was at that point running lots of Prowler. And we'd finished training that day. And I just went in and was like, yeah, whatever they're doing, I'll lift. Nice. Shut the fuck up and just be part of whatever the vibe is.
Yeah.
You know, feel it out.
Yeah.
And dude, getting to be in that space and like after seeing pictures of Elite's gym being set up and like actually getting to be in there and training with fucking Wendler, man, there was a fucking unlock for me.
Yeah.
Of, yo, anything's possible.
Yep.
These guys are building a life around this fucking thing and it's real.
Yeah.
And they're actually into it and they're real people and it's not a fucking fairy tale.
Yeah.
It changed everything. Getting to see people actually chase their dreams. And like, what were you brought up around? Was it an idea of being able to dream and chase stuff, or was it more this is the plan and what you should be doing?
Mine was a mixture of both. I feel like my dad, I was always just taught like you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to, but like nothing is going to be spoon fed to you. Like you have to do the work in order to do the things that you dream to do, you know? So nothing ever comes easy. But yeah, mine was a mix. What about you?
Oh, I don't know. This is a weird. Well, this is a it's just weird situation because like truth be mine was like survive.
Yeah, but, we had completely different upbringings.
Yeah, very different childhoods. But
mine was like suburban, you know, military family, whatever.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so.
And mine was like poverty, and we were briefly homeless and stuff, and just went through a lot of shit. I don't know. I thought you knew about this shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, my mom was super sick. Had like type 1 diabetes. Ended up in the hospital with complete renal failure. House got foreclosed on momentarily. Me and my dad lived out of the car. Like the nights he went hungry so I could eat and shit. And like
what age range is this?
12 to like 13.
Yo,
so like
that's
formative years.
Hard age.
But yeah, that's why my dad's my best friend. And like and my mom, she's alive. She's
Sure.
kicking ass. Double transplant, kidney pancreas, crazy. Like scar from like up here to like right above her like pubic area. Wild. Grateful every day. But that kind of like me and my dad went through all that shit together. And like that's why he's like pretty much my best friend.
I would imagine.
I fucking love the dude.
Yeah, what a shared gnarly trauma.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like at every single one of my powerlifting meets. Like he's awesome. Love my dad. But like that's like to answer the question, it was more so like it was a combination of like you need to like because there was it wasn't a combination. It was more like follow your dream, do whatever the fuck, because like there was no plan. It was like my dad's whole objective as a human was like to make me 1,000,000 times better than he ever was.
Sure.
And he's like told me that, and it's like
I would think that's got to be the plan for most parents, right?
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. But he was like in the thick of it, and like he basically made the decision every day because like he was in such a hard situation. He was like, I made the decision, and they're doing very, very well now. But he's like, I made the decision every day, like to rather than be angry, rather than fucking curse and give up or like fucking take it out on in whatever way. He's like, we had to keep building, and he worked so that I could go to the private school in the area rather than the public schools, and like
all while living out of a car.
Yeah, and that was like 6 months, but like
it's 6 months longer than I've lived out of a car, man.
Yeah, and it's like just this, like just pushing and pushing and pushing, and he like worked his fucking ass off so that I could do that. And he's like, he's told me like I made that decision because that was the right thing to do, and that's where the whole if you can do good, you have the obligation to, you know, like I got that from my dad, and it's like,
yeah, what a fucking champ, dude.
So yeah, it's like I'm grateful for him every day, and it's like, but his whole thing was he was like, you do whatever he's like, you go be you. He's like, go be the best you can, because like he basically because he was like I never got that opportunity because he didn't, you know, and he's like he couldn't. He was just like go be the thing that you want to be and fucking kick ass at it, and I'll be behind you the whole way. So
man, now having this freedom essentially that you've built your life and it's your job and it's your fucking income and it's got to be great.
It's incredible, and this is super cool for me because both my parents are still like they're like I don't understand what you do.
Fuck yeah.
It's like fine, you guys don't, because I just bought them like super fucking great seats for Billy Joel. And he's coming here in like February, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like flex a little bit."
Dude, it's great, right?
And my mom was on the phone, and she was like, "What the fuck did you do?" And I'm like, happy Christmas or something. I don't know.
No, just thanks.
I was so stoked, and I'll have moments like I thought about it earlier today, and I didn't tell you, but I thought about it, and I was just like, "Fuck, I did that."
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so cool,
dude.
You know,
it's a
really
super
happy.
rad feeling, man.
So.
I've gotten. Yeah, I lost my dad in 2014, and I've leaned more into my mom, and just my dad was awesome. Yeah, like he was dad, bit of an asshole, those type of things. But it was great, right? Yeah. And mom, like I told her because her and dad were kind of trying to get ready to travel and do all that type of stuff, and so now. Mom's a preschool teacher and fucking hanging out. And so what I've told her at this point is like, you and dad wanted to travel. It didn't work. I'll go. So wherever you want to go, I just need you to say.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
just say when.
That's super cool.
And like, man, there's nothing I would love more than just to be able to afford her life, despite that she won't take it. But she'll let me do those type of things. Yeah. And so like me and Bonnie getting to do the Trova trip stuff with that company, like, oh, my mom comes. Like I buy a ticket.
So fucking cool.
So I buy one of those for my mom.
Cool.
Yeah. So she came to Iceland with us last year.
Oh, that's awesome.
And her best friend came. Like a woman that I don't ever remember not knowing.
Yeah.
Level of my mom's best friend, right? And like to have them both in Iceland and get to share that thing with them. Just telling my mom I was like, anywhere on the earth you want to go. Yeah. Understand that if you don't see it between now and the time you die, you chose not to. Yeah. Because you just have to say, let's go. I don't give a fuck. We'll fucking hit it.
Yeah.
I'm down.
That must feel so cool.
That's so incredible.
Dude, it's really rad. So she's coming to Alaska with us next year.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk her into taking the Patagonia trip.
Trying to talk her into it.
but you know, there's truth to that. Like, we got into it a little bit when we were in Iceland because, I mean, she hasn't done the greatest job taking care of herself.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the trips we're going on, you know, they're fucking physical activities.
Yeah.
And make no mistake, you don't need to be fit for any of the things we're doing.
Yeah.
You need to be healthy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those are very different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that's what I told her. I was like, I mean, even the last time we did a big road trip and we took her out to the Grand Canyon because she hadn't seen that. So we did that last year. We rented an RV, me, her, and Bonnie, and just took off for 2 weeks.
Nice.
So even that, like, her and I talked a bunch about a diet and those type of things and how I feel about that. Back to full accountability and choice was, you know, I was like, here's things you can do that would fix the issues you have.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and I know I've been on you about this. And I was like, and this is the last time we'll talk about it.
Uh-huh.
I was like, because from here on out, you have the information. If you would like my help, I would love nothing more to help.
Mm-hmm.
And I will do whatever it takes for that to be real.
Yeah.
But if you don't, that means I know you don't give a shit. And I'll never care more than you do.
Yeah.
I'll never care more than you do again.
Yeah. Take it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so that's it. It helped me have an acceptance of not being trying to be frustrated with her because, like, yeah, man.
Yeah. I dealt with that with my parents for a long time because, like, my dad was the person who, like, got me into fitness. Like, I started with him at like 14 when I was in the YMCA with him doing boot camp classes, and then eventually he went to CrossFit. I followed him, and then I started getting more into fitness, kind of found powerlifting, and my parents kind of fell off, like, the fitness wagon or whatever.
Yo, it's fucking hard.
It is, and it's just, like, I'm starting to see my dad, like, you know, he's drinking a little bit more, stressed out with work, you know, just coming out of, like, retiring from the military, going back into civilian life and things like that. And my mom just not really into the gym thing, and I would, like, thinking about my parents dying is, like, my biggest fucking fear ever. Like, when my parents die, I will die. Like, they're my best friends. They've been there for everything. And so about, it's probably like a year and a half ago, I finally got it into my parents. And ever since then, like, I started helping them with nutrition. I started helping them with the training plans. So, like, I fucking want to do this for a living. Might as well use them as guinea pigs. And I got my dad to lose like 50 pounds and my mom lost like 40. And now they're, like, as healthy as ever. And it's, like, part of their fucking lifestyle. And, like, that is, like, I can't do things for them right now, like, financially and, like, buying them trips or whatever. I'm fucking 25. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But it's, like, doing something like that to increase the potential, like, longevity of my parents' life. Like, that was probably one of the most rewarding fucking things. It's like, now, if we wanted to go on a trip, like, they could do all the shit. You know? Or, like, if I want to go work out with my dad, he can fucking keep up with me. Or we want to go hike. And it's like, that's super important.
Yeah, you opened a bunch of options for rad life experiences.
Yeah. It's like, there's so much more fucking opportunity to do shit.
No, that's fucking killer, dude.
Yeah.
It's super rad. I know I've been a lot happier the more I'm able to kind of stay, like, in a feeling of giving.
Yeah.
And whether that's creating content or, I don't know, man, just anything I can do to share out there. I really like getting to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I realized early along that I have an ability to talk with people and do that. And so the more I've gotten to travel and share conversations and get to share these personalities and everyone's life experience, it's been really, really cool experience.
Yeah.
So you doing the podcast, like, I hope you really enjoy it and lean into it, right? Because, like, there's no rules.
Yeah.
Because there's no rules that thing can't be the biggest fucking podcast on earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's some percentage of that chance is a possibility.
Yeah. I think, like, the big thing for me that with the podcast that gave me is, like, I have always sucked at public speaking. I fucking hate public speaking. I trip over my words. I start thinking about the next sentence before I'm done with the first, and, like, it's just really, really overwhelming for me.
It doesn't show. Or do you not consider this public speaking? Because this is 100%.
No, I think this is like a conversation.
I think that's what she was leaning into.
Yeah, but like podcast, it feels more like a conversation. So now that I I'm more comfortable talking to just anybody or fucking people on the internet, I realize how much of a voice I actually have. And I think that's done wonders for me as just an adult, and like my confidence of like, if I want to say something, if I want to change something, I have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
Because I've given myself like with just the decision of making a podcast, I've given myself another platform to speak out on anything I fucking wish, because I make the choices.
That's right.
It's my shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's me and Chandler's shit, but like it's our shit, and we talk about whatever the fuck we want. So
Come on.
yeah, that'd be sick.
You get to have dudes on?
Yeah, we'd have the dudes on.
I think I could have big clit energy. I don't know.
I think you have big clit energy.
Fuck yeah. I'm just happy being weird, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, dude. It's funny. Like within the last couple of years, I started really leaning more into just like relationship building again. And whether that's like Steffi and Hayden, we've gotten really close, and then Bart and Gio, Rob and Dana, and other groups, and man, one of those
people,
dude.
like you guys are
It's
all
fucking
like the
overwhelming.
amount of
They're
fucking success in that group of people is.
No, I'm just trying to hold on.
See, but that's
For the rest of
But if
these
you
fucking
think, like,
dudes.
you're the small fish.
I
in that,
100% am.
and you're doing fucking
Yes,
awesome.
yeah,
Like, that's
for
incredible.
sure. And dude, the comparison thing, fucking gets best of you.
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
And like it there's a lot of times I have to get it down. For
Hayden's
me,
like, let me pick you up to my Ferrari.
there
You're
and
like, fuck.
it never translates to like a scarcity thing anymore. It never translates to fuck, I think they have it easy, because I know they don't.
Yeah.
The weird one that starts to show up for me now is like, so I'm aware of my capabilities of as a human, right? I don't think it's realistic to say I'm going to turn Hate Brand into Nike.
Okay.
I think that's a fair thing for me to say. And so by saying that, if that's top end of the scale and where I'm currently at is where I'm currently at, I'm going to fall somewhere in that range between Nike and where I'm currently at.
Not bad.
Right?
Yeah.
So there is somewhere along that ride I have to be able to admit that I don't have what it takes to go to the next thing.
Okay.
I just don't know where that is.
Yeah.
But at some point, that's a factor.
Yeah. There's got to be a ceiling.
And dude, and there's plenty of moments, watching and having friends. I'm so fucking fortunate that I have friends that do this thing that we do.
Yeah.
That I can talk to and be like, holy fuck, have you done this? It's such a quick problem solver that we all share information and talk about problem solving and what helps.
Yeah, you have like unlimited resources.
It's so valuable to not operate
Because if
out
they
of
don't
scarcity.
know something,
Yeah,
somebody else they
and-
knows something.
And not only that, it's even just nice to run something by someone that is doing a similar thing, but isn't on my payroll.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with my staff,
Yeah.
but it's nice having a completely unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, at some point, like there's times, man, when it's hustle and it's grind, and like even this latest stress of dealing with trying to figure this cut and sew piece out. And like, fuck, I felt close.
Back to the drawing board.
And yeah, it is, and it's easy to think no one else has the problems, and it's really easy to feel that way. But dude, it's it.
Yeah.
And it's figure it the fuck out or don't, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
we're
it-
just all like we're all so consumed in our own little world of problems that we don't think about like others could be dealing with the same shit.
In fact, everyone's dealing with the same
Yeah.
shit.
And everybody is trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Some have, some haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not competing against any of those people. The only person I'm interested in competing against is me. And man, I can fall into it, right? Because I'm not at the level that anyone else in that group is. I'm so stoked to get to watch.
Yeah.
And also, that level looks great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super fucking honest. But there's times where you'll get frustrated with your thing because it's not there. And like, man, you really have to fucking check that.
Yeah.
Like, insecurity, right? Like the imposter syndrome. I had it around when we threw the Halloween party at Dope.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Of like, like I for sure was worried about like, why would anyone come to this? Like we're in St. Louis and blah, 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 and what the feeling of that was. And so I really half-assed it. And like Bonnie fucking crushed it, and Bonnie promoted it and really made it incredible. And now I'm like, yo, what a fucking pussy move. Yo, what a fucking pussy move. You've made a really rad thing.
Yeah.
And like the vibe was fucking good. And like it was our vibe. Mm-hmm. It wasn't trying to be something else. Like it was a party at our place and it had a vibe. Like we had the beanbags in there and it was LED lights and there was some dancing. Yeah. This wasn't a gym party.
Yeah.
This was a party in my fucking spaceship.
Yeah, that's sick.
And like, you know, fuck that comparison thing getting in the way, right? Like, you know, everyone runs into it. You know, my friends at the tier above me have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everyone's got it.
It's like, fuck, does it get any better?
Not if that's how you choose to live it.
Yeah.
Right.
But if I can look at it right now and remind myself that, like, I get to create for a living. Mm-hmm. And no one tells me what to make.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sweet.
As long as I get to continue doing that, I'm in. Mm-hmm. I'll do whatever it takes to spend the rest of my life trying to create stuff.
Yeah.
And it's always, and you're always going to be probably striving for a little bit higher and a little bit higher and a little bit higher. And it's the difference between
a little
that,
higher.
Right? The difference with that is it's not looking at the other people or the tier above you and being like, well, they have this and I don't, so screw them. Or like they must have gotten it easy or whatever. It's thinking, okay, what can I do to get them? What can I do to get there? Who do I need to talk to?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
the abundance versus scarcity.
And look at it as they're proof it works. They're proof it's possible.
Somebody can do it.
Someone can do it.
Yeah.
That means that's not impossible. There's no rules that can't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, get to getting.
Yeah.
And not even that, like, accountable with friends and being able to talk to people like that. I mean, recently something I've talked about in my mentorship group was, like, you know, the accountability deal, right? That, like, if you say something out loud, it moves it to a 10% chance of success. Mm-hmm. You telling a second person is 25%.
Yeah.
Like you putting together a plan makes it 65%. You having something that keeps you accountable moves it to 95% success. And so, man, if you have the will to be that to yourself, you're fucking unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the accountability side too, though, is like, man, so recently I've been trying to diet.
Okay.
It's really the first fucking time I've been moderately successful at it. This is probably the leanest I've ever been and still over 230.
Okay.
Changed up some gear and, you know, I know 100% truth of what the difference is fucking food.
Isn't that a bitch?
God, I fucking know it, dude. It's a lack of me ordering cookies being bombed out of my fucking mind at night. It's working, like, so we switched it, like, we're working with the company Nutrition Solutions.
I saw that.
It's great.
Okay.
It's been great. I really liked working with Eat Right Foods.
They were great,
just,
dude.
frustration, just whatever.
I know. They were so good.
And so, working with this new company, lucky enough to be with them, and, you know, I just had this epiphany of, like, I'd like to get leaner. And I've said it for fucking years.
Yep. Same
and
boat.
so, like, man, I just had a moment where I was like, it's do you or don't.
Yeah.
Here it is, because it's never going to be easier, you old fuck.
Yeah.
And so it was, and then, like, had this thing, and I was like, a company sends you food. You have a gym, and you don't have a job.
What is your excuse?
Yo, none. Like, not only is it so little of an excuse, it's offensive. Like, I have to go out of my way to find shitty food and not go to the place I built.
Dude, I should have stock in DoorDash. It's so fucking bad.
Dude, I
It's
still use
so
that
bad,
too much.
dude.
Dude, we do too. We're not going out. I'm not going
No, bring it
somewhere
to
else.
me.
Are you kidding?
Convenience.
All the restaurants deliver to my house, and there's more weed at my house and more comfy couches.
It's like I don't have to put clothes on. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
like-
not doing
Yeah, I'm a little bummed out that as America, we're turning into a sloppy sweatpants society. Quick.
We
Dude,
really are. Dude,
comfort.
Look at the fucking outfits.
Yo, man,
we're all
but
in
it's
right now.
yeah, I'm aware. I'm so aware, but there's some difference in outfit. Like I've seen some air travel. There is some sloppy fucking
Oh, yeah,
sweatsuits
yeah,
out there, and it's like, yo, this is us. This is us. I am bummed out by what the stereotype.
When I started actually seeing like what could be worded as pajamas, I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's where I
can't.
draw the line.
Especially on like guys, like
Yeah.
dudes wearing pajamas and like the shirts that have like holes in them, and it's like you've had that for like a decade, and
Dude.
whoa.
Yeah, we've made an interesting transition through COVID.
Nobody has real jobs anymore.
No,
we don't have
yeah.
to fucking wear
Yeah,
nice clothes.
exactly.
Dude, I had to wear a suit for a buddy's wedding. I officiated a couple weeks ago, and it was nice dressing up.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, I do.
It's
like
a little strange. Wearing a suit as one I don't wear very often, but I have a nice suit and it fits me very well.
Uh-huh.
I've paid enough fucking for it. Damn well better.
Yeah.
And like I like the way I look in it,
Yeah.
and I like the gray hair. I like the vibe I have
Yeah.
in it, but man, it looks like looking at someone else.
Yeah, because we're so used to dressing.
You know,
like
I'm a fucking
are.
no, but I'm a kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what point I'm supposed to feel 40 because my dad at 40, I was very aware was a fucking 40-year-old
Yeah.
man.
That gives me so much comfort because I go
have
out.
no idea what I'm doing.
go
I
out
want
all
you
the
to know
time.
that.
And I'm like, who's letting me do this? Like, I literally told Joe the other day, like, I still get nervous buying alcohol at the store.
Yo, I've bought my fourth house, and every time I'm like, there has to be an adult I have to get permission from. They can't just let me do this, and then I'm like, you're fucking 40. Who are they calling? And I'm like, fuck, man.
Oh my god.
We're just slowly breaking into a fucking year and a half
Okay.
from 40. I'll just yell
Jesus.
40 all the way
Shit.
through.
I'm gonna feel like that for a long time then.
Ever. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hope-
that
that's-
is
that's
the
that
thing,
would be-
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've never wanted to wake up and like Rome will be like, yeah, I'm definitely here. Like I'm 40. Like I don't want that. I want to always be questioning like who's letting me do this or
Yeah.
like feel like I'm a kid or I don't want it all figured out. I don't know.
Dude, so
Yeah.
for me, one of the things I just fear a lot, the time is my big anxiety push.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big fear for me is just time being wasted. Because it's really the only fucking commodity that matters.
Yeah.
And so my time being wasted is something I just can't stomach.
Okay.
And the extent of my time being wasted is me being forced to do a thing I don't want to do. That's it. And I'm fucking really bad about it. Anything that falls into that category.
That goes against your entire brand.
But so, man, I remember having regular jobs and being in routine, and just fucking weeks disappear and months are just fucking fly by. Now, with that said, the pace of my current life moves very, very fucking fast.
Yeah.
With as much as we travel and multiple brands and things going on, like it is nonstop problem solving. But I love that the days don't blend together.
Because
Yeah,
you're doing something for
absolutely.
you rather than for a corporation or
Right.
for someone else. It's productive.
Right.
Always.
And I feel like that still can come with like any type of hustle because you've still got to figure it out. You're not just sitting on autopilot and catching that check, staring at a wall that you've seen over and over and over again and watch that time just.
Yeah.
And I share that with you, and like time is the thing that terrifies me the most because like just the more you live, the faster it goes. And I've been around, like it's Bree and I are very different in this aspect too because like she hasn't dealt with much like death in her personal life or in like her family or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas I've had so much of it for whatever reason. Like it's just my life. It's just how it is. But it's like I've had to stare at it and like get super fucking familiar with it and what the feeling is like when somebody is there and then they're just not. it's like, it's crazy. And then that makes me think, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm like, and I've talked about this in my own therapy. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with my own mortality sometimes.
Yes, 100%.
Because it's like, it's always in my head to a point where it's like not healthy, because I'll be like, I'll wake up and be like making breakfast, like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. You know, just FYI, dog, like, you're dying right now. It's going to happen.
So, but it doesn't channel.
It does. It makes me want to live and do as much as I can. It's just it makes it hard for me to. This is why psychedelics are so beneficial to me, because if I like, it makes it hard to focus on the good. You know, it's like no matter what is going, no matter how great my feelings are, my life is in that moment, whatever, no matter what I've accomplished, like, I'm still just like, why are you gonna die though? Stuff why it's gonna happen.
See, I look at it slightly different, to where I find there's freedom in that.
Yeah.
In that,
and I agree with that too. I think it's just like aimed a little differently.
Sure, the freedom in it for me means none of this fucking matters.
Yeah. See, nihilism. We had this argument earlier today because she said I was an asshole.
None of this matters.
Yeah.
It fucking doesn't. Listen, we're a spinning fucking rock traveling through space. Like, the dinosaurs spent 250 million years walking around the fucking planet. We've only been around for 2. Mm-hmm. We ain't made the fucking newspaper yet. So how, like, and I use that to do competition anxiety.
Yeah.
That thought process. I used the whole time whenever I would compete and throw, and it was like, for how long Earth's been spinning around and things have been happening, how far you throw this rock today ain't making the fucking list. So do your job. Mm-hmm. This is the thing you like to do.
Yeah.
Just fucking go do it in the coolest setting possible. Like, fucking enjoy this fun day.
Yeah.
You moron. You've done the work in the field when no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
And it always took it down. And that's part of, that's really where, like, the part with hate, the always party thing came from.
Yeah.
It was like, in those moments, like, that's time to fucking party.
Yeah.
I'm rested finally, and, like, there's a fucking crowd. Like, there's no anxiety from that, dude. This is
fun.
Let's fucking go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, death is just, like Joe said, I haven't had much experience with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It scares the fuck out of me, and I still haven't come to terms with it.
And it will, and it's an unfortunate thing of getting older. It's coming.
Yeah, it's just like, it sounds so self-centered, but like, I can't imagine a world without a me in it, and the fact that like people just die, and like you could die, and my world could be shattering, but fucking the world still goes on.
It's true,
and that's just terrifying to me.
See, I also find the finite of that, like, really rad, like the gratitude, because I can't think of another time I wish I lived in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so then let me mix that with how fortunate being born where I was born to who I was born to was.
Yeah.
And then in the time, because I don't want to be around 100 years ago. Fuck all that. I'm super into air conditioning. There's a host of other problems, but air conditioning, being from the South, is a major fucking deal in my life. Yeah. It is. It's gonna run at all times. And so, like, and not even that, but then the fortunate thing that I've got these relationships, and I do have these incredible people in my life, and I did get to not just location-wise cross paths, but then time-wise it lined up to have all these incredible relationships and be in a time that this fucking ridiculous skill set that I have gets to make me a living.
Yeah.
Back to we spoke about it earlier, like, I think this is another book I'm interested to work on, but it's, we got to be part of this first generation of people that became able to make a living off of social media.
Yeah.
This is now a thing that'll be a job forever.
Which
Like
is
that,
insane.
that cat will never come out of the bag. That from now on, no matter who you are, if you are good at a thing, you can get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the fucking case.
Right.
No.
And it'll never go back.
Mm-hmm.
Advertising has changed. Like all the fucking rules are completely different. And not only that one will keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
They're also going to figure out a better way to regulate it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone currently making a living from this ran through the fucking security fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. But
Yeah.
yes, as the longer it goes, the more control whoever the they is, they're gonna want.
Well, but I mean, even little stuff that we've seen in shifts, right? Like when, software updates happen and the fucking way the data gets dropped. Like in the last 2 months with the iOS 15 updates, a fucking giant change of everything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. I don't believe that's getting corrected back the right way. And so, noted. Right? And like have that fucking realization and make sure that whatever it is, this thing that you've built, that you own it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
That phone doesn't.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's honestly always one of the funniest things that I see on social media when someone posts a graphic or a statistic or some little art thing that they created and then someone else posts it. You stole this from me, and it's like, no. That's the website's property because you uploaded it on this. And in that little user agreement, you sell your fucking soul to them.
Yeah, man.
That's always an interesting thing.
I'm forever fucking grateful, but I am aware. And
Slightly terrified.
Yeah, and I mean, that Bonnie and I, that's why we've started into real estate and property and doing other shit like that. One of the reasons why St. Louis is cheap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the same track that I want to go, dude.
Yeah, we
Like,
want to do the whole Airbnb thing. That's super rad.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it, and we got really lucky. Like we bought the house next door to ours. Like
awesome.
it shares.
Oh my
we share a
God.
wall.
Oh,
that's
God.
crazy. That's
And
awesome.
so like when we bought ours, like we told our neighbor Patrice, she'd been there for like 30 years, that just like if you ever move, we want it.
Nice.
And like luckily we got it, and it was no hassle, and like we didn't have to bid against people.
Yeah.
And so sick.
Yeah. You guys did
Thank you.
Sweet deal with that. That's
And
awesome.
our house has been kicking ass. It's in a really great area, and so
It's already up and running?
We're not Airbnb, but just
Okay.
it's appreciated.
Oh, okay.
And so just as an investment, it's good. Like that
Yeah.
feels good. Like I like the world that we're building in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And so like that concept of like make sure you build your world.
Yeah.
And I think that matters. And I think a lot of people miss it. And like you can do it, it doesn't have to be big, but like man, like make sure you're fucking at least your space, your
Yeah.
house, your bedroom. I don't care what your space is. Fucking own that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like give yourself some full place to be free to think and be you and be surrounded by things that you like and inspire you and
Yeah.
do all that. It's made a huge difference for me, kind of like having that, like whether it's my office at the house or Dope now.
Yeah.
That space
I
looks
love
so
that.
cool,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, I'm very happy with it. I really
Is that connected
am.
to your house?
No. So it's like 2 miles from us.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
I had no idea. I always thought that was like just
Yep. Everyone
Yeah.
everyone kind of thinks it blends in a bit with the basement.
Yeah.
Because our
Okay.
basement's got the big bean bags and the same type of lighting.
Okay.
But no, it's a rental space. The outside of the building is nothing special. Like there's no signage or anything.
Sick.
And so I got in, and the building was pretty junk.
Yeah.
And then spent a bunch of money and built it out. And like, fuck, it's great.
That
Like having that in the
super
podcast
cool.
studio and everything is
Yeah. It's so cool.
it's good.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I like it is so it eliminates excuses for one.
Yeah.
But it eliminates not just like excuses to train. It eliminates excuses to create stuff.
Yeah.
And it eliminates the excuse of like, well, the quality of the thing I have is what's holding me back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It's the creator's problem.
That's the place where you go. That's where
Right?
that.
See, that's why, and like, I know people are listening, and it's like, I love this, because this is literally pure conversation, this is great, but, we just moved into this house. We're still like setting it up and whatnot. It's obviously not completely a house yet. But like that, god damn it, that right there, motherfucker, is why I want to get our fucking home offices set up and that goddamn black room. Because I'm like, I want a black room where fucking black wallpaper, black projector, like very fucking like very, very like moderate, or I can't think of the word, just like very subtle lighting, where it's like I can just go in there and fucking sit and think, and sometimes trip, and sometimes just fucking be there.
So
yeah.
Getting to know a lot of lunatics. One of my favorites is Aubrey from Autumn. Man, his fucking house is beautiful, and the backyard is such this rad adult playground. And like as a universe creator, like because all of it, like it's his, like he didn't follow rules of like what a backyard's supposed to be. Like there's a permanent place where axe throwing happens, and like there's another one for knives, and then there's a 50-foot slack line across the yard, and there's a trampoline in the ground.
That's so cool.
He put in a pickleball court with like
fucking awesome. Professional
lighting, and this big pool and a hot tub in this like sunken fire pit area for like 20 people. Jesus. And it's hot, cold tub, and it's such this rad playground that just wants you to interact with it.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're into. And so it's beautiful. And like, so also he went and did this like a darkness retreat. So goes to Germany and spends 7 days in this pitch black room.
Oh my God.
And like, so what happens is your body starts producing DMT.
Yeah.
By like day 3. And so, he's doing breath work. I mean, like you're in a, like there's no light.
That's insane.
Like, so like you have a day in the room before they black you out to like figure out where your fucking toothbrush is going to be.
Oh my God.
And he's like, man, it changes everything. Like trying to fucking even put you can't put toothpaste on the end of a toothbrush anymore. It's black.
Wow.
And he's like, so it's toothpaste in the mouth, toothbrush in the mouth.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's fascinating what little things you'll figure out. And going through this completely quiet. And it was such a profound experience for him. He built a room at his house.
Fuck.
So he's got he's got a bedroom. He's like, you want to see it?
Dude,
like we go up there, dude, he closes it. He closes that door and it's darker than 3 foot up a cow's ass.
Yeah. It's literally you're blind now.
Fuck, it's black, man.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, and like quiet, and he's like, you can't believe how hard it is to eliminate all the light in this fucking room. It is fighting its way in to try to get like can't see like he's like, it's so much effort.
Damn.
Like unless you're starting with a closet, like if you have a bedroom that has windows or a door, it's just I'm like, what an interesting pursuit, but what a valuable tool to have.
Yeah. That's wild. It reminds me of those. I can't remember the name of them. You might know it. It's a weird fact. I feel like you would know this fact for some reason. But they're the rooms where it's like completely soundless. Like it's called something chamber. I don't know.
Deprivation.
Deprivation. Sensory deprivation.
No. It's like they've been built or naturally occurring in the world.
Oh.
Yeah.
Naturally occurring.
Yeah. So it's like it's either like so minimal sound or whatever. It's just like it's like happens in caves.
Okay.
And it's like just a sealed chamber pretty much, or close to it. I've been in one. There's one in Ireland. And it's just like in this cave thing. You stand there and it's like with complete dark room, you eliminate that sense. So when your body produces DMT or you have to figure things out.
Yeah.
It's like you completely, it's just human adaptation because you adapt to the environment. When you go in the room where there's no sound and you're just like stop walking, then there's nothing. I swear to God, you can like start hearing like your bodily processes.
No, for sure you can.
Your blood pumping.
Jesus.
And it's like, it's fucking crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, the fact that these meat suits work
that's what I'm saying.
The human body is fucking weird.
Man, my ideas and how like I view my body has changed so much.
Yeah.
Like over the last decade. Like with the injury and with psychedelics, I have a pretty big disconnect from it.
Okay.
It's the avatar.
Yeah. You're just your brain.
Yeah. That's it. This is 100% avatar.
It's a mech.
Yeah, I didn't get to pick it.
You're just in it.
I didn't get to pick it at all, right? But like, yo, my avatar has been bitching. Right? Like, I mean, like, be honest with yourself. Think about all the fucking varieties of fucking bodies that people just show up in. Right?
Yeah.
Like, boom, that one's yours.
Yeah. Yep.
Yo, mine's awesome.
Yeah.
Of all the things it's been able to, even fucked up still, this shitty knee, or whatever it is, like, I just love the idea. Like, maybe that's as far as like simulation things end up going for me in the realm of weird.
Yeah.
But like at whatever point, like I have to return the mech.
Yeah.
Like I just know the guy's gonna get it back and be like, fuck, incinerate. like there's no parts they're running back through the system. Like,
no, not at all.
I have no intention of fucking turning this thing back with any miles left on the fucking odometer.
Why would you?
No way, dude. And so, like, having that disconnect about, like, this is my avatar and, like, how do I want it to look? And, like, and the fact that I have the ability to shape it.
Yeah.
You guys have it too, right? That you've both figured out how to manipulate your bodies and change them. Like whether that's gain muscle or lose weight or do any of that, like you figured out how to do it. And so many people never realize that you're at the wheel of that.
Yeah.
I mean, does having that power like change the way you looked at goals of like, I can move my weight up and down?
Yeah, honestly, yes. Like, it's still because like I used to be like I dealt with obesity as a kid. Like as a teenager, I got really, really big and then lost a bunch of weight and whatever. So like I still have some level of emotional attachment to be like, oh, I'm always gonna be big or whatever. But there's just been so many tried and true and proven instances where it's like eat in a caloric surplus, gain weight, eat in a caloric deficit, lose weight. Do this, like, if this, then that. And it's like, I've talked to Bree about it because we live in Las Vegas now. We're both powerlifters, but we have a lot of bodybuilder friends. We hang out with bodybuilders. And just because it's been so if this, then that, data driven, and I've looked at some bodybuilding shows and I'm not done with powerlifting because I still have stuff I want to do, but I've looked at shows and been like, I want to do this. Just so I can be like, this is not that hard. It's just following the plan. You just do this and then this happens.
I mean, I think defining it as not that hard would depend on, say, the goal.
Right, exactly.
Do I think getting on stage in underwear and being painted brown is hard? No. Do I think what Flex Lewis has done is hard? Fucking
yes.
A. Right?
Yeah.
Like, man, what a freak.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Man, the biggest bummer, too, about being able to finally, like, figure out some nutrition shit and being able to manipulate my body weight is you have to finally be honest with about, like, what little drugs do to affect that thing. Because if there was a thing I could take that turned me into Flex Lewis,
everybody.
I would have taken it. I'm not again. If it's out there, please send it. I live in St. Louis. I'd love to try.
Yeah.
But there fucking isn't, and there isn't this thing that's like, which one's going to help you lose weight? Caloric deficit is the only fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
like tapeworm, like maybe is the only other performance enhancer I can think of, but we haven't got there yet.
It's physics. It's like it is the if this then that, and it's not like taking this thing or doing this secret method or whatever is going to get you there. It still takes exactly what we were talking about earlier, and it's that just effort and just doing it again and again and again and over. That's the only way to do it and being consistent. Because like you said, I heard you guys talking when I was in the bathroom about like you've had to be honest with yourself because this is the longest you've consistently dieted and the cleanest you've been, And it's like, God damn it, it is the food.
Yeah.
God
It's
damn
like,
it.
It literally is this. It's just the fucking calories.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's not keto, it's not paleo, it's all of those are strategies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. Like they're not there's no magic, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's the real bummer, right? Is like you have to, other than maybe psychedelics, there's not any fucking magic. And like that was a concept that had hit me. But like, anyone that wants to look at someone like that and say steroids,
Yeah.
you want to believe in magic.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's easier.
Yeah.
It's easier to believe in magic than it is to say, I don't have what it takes to do that.
Yep.
And man, that's a realization too. Like, Nick Bear,
No.
fucking goddamn champion. Nick Bear is such a stud. Has a nutrition company, Bear Performance Nutrition. He was a bit of a bodybuilder, did well on YouTube, grew this company, and they're just fucking killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is he crushing it with this company, he's in phenomenal shape and like has now transitioned to like running ultra marathons and training for it and fucking kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like, I watch him and I see what he's doing, and I see the team that he's got around him supporting it, and like he's built all that, and like even just the work thing. Because I think if I could admit it to myself, right? Like if let's say I wanted to blow up the YouTube thing,
Mm-hmm.
and if I decided that I'm gonna do this epic gnarly challenge of say, ride my bike across the country, and I'm gonna film all the training for it, it would work. Like it would get the interest, the story's there. It would fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it. I don't want to do that. Like, that sounds really fucking hard. And like, that's an honest thing to fucking say to myself of like, that's a guaranteed plan.
Yeah.
And it's like, I won't do it.
Yeah.
And so like, then be okay with that. Like know that what you want is where you're at.
Yeah.
And like be thankful for it and be stoked that you're in it.
Yeah.
Because who the fuck knows what happens in 5 years?
For real. And beginning of the podcast, how different life can be in only a year or a decade.
Yo.
Yeah.
The last two have been wild.
Oh, same with me. 2.5. Yeah.
We live in a wild fucking time right now.
Yeah, my life is completely fucking 180'd since like 2019.
Right.
My God. I'm in a completely different state.
Well, world, because like we've all lived through a pandemic or whatever. Like,
is it over apparently?
Currently,
no, but
kinda.
It's very strange,
what
man.
State you live in.
People just seemingly have decided.
It's very, very strange.
Like,
Look, I went to Iceland for 3 weeks. I've done an 8-week road trip during it. I've went to Dubai in Africa.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
It's interesting.
What do you think of Dubai?
I'm not in any hurry to go back.
Really?
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea.
Interesting.
Very materialistic.
It's all the things I don't like about Vegas with a religious overtone.
That sounds horrifying.
Except
I cannot.
bigger, grosser Vegas.
Oh.
Like
So
it all,
it's
like it felt like
consumerism.
it just felt like a mall. The whole thing felt like a fucking shopping
God.
mall. We did get out to the desert and got to go do a thing out there, and it was cool.
Yeah.
But it was mega touristy, which I don't have a Sherpa there to like lead us around to do actual cool shit. So
Yeah.
if I ever have a friend that lives in Dubai that I want to see, like maybe I'll fucking give her another go.
Yeah.
But I doubt it.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
Like we got stopped in the shopping mall because Bonnie was inappropriately dressed. She just had like a skirt on.
Oh, that
And
was-
like we weren't even trying to go to the mall.
Yeah.
We just wanted to go to the fucking Burj.
Yeah.
And
That sucks.
and then like a security guard walks up and like hands me a card and like won't address her. And I just felt on guard.
I
Yeah,
would
I
not
don't like
like
that.
Do you know what I mean? And with that said, I came here.
Yeah.
So I own that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking
Yeah,
make a stink and be that fucking asshole.
Yeah.
This is your culture. I've chose to be part of it.
Mhm.
And so like once I'd kind of felt that way about it, it bummed me out spending any money there
Yeah.
Yeah.
because then I'm voting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so I was
Yeah.
like, also, it's the fucking hottest place I've ever been.
Really?
Yeah.
God, man, I've lived in the South and grew up in fucking crazy hot fucking places. Like Louisiana sucks.
Yeah.
It's like fucking weather in the summer. You're just like you're living a mouth.
Yeah.
It's fucking so lame.
We say it's hot oven here.
Oh,
Here in Vegas.
yeah. It's so
Literally.
Dubai's 112, 113,
Oh, fuck
and
that.
and humid. It's on the sea.
Oh my god.
I hate humidity.
Dude, I got off the plane and like it's like 4 a.m. when I landed, coming in from Ethiopia. What a weird fucking day, dude.
Yeah.
And kind of an idiot. There are rocks in the field. I was like, I got out of the airport. It was like 98 degrees
Oh my God.
at 4 a.m. and just muggy. I was like, anytime I went outside, anytime I left the hotel, I was just like, fuck this. Fuck this.
Yeah.
I felt like I was being assaulted by it.
Yeah, you're just upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I shower 5 times a day.
Yeah.
I'm fucking
You have
disgusting.
to. That's like there was culture shock when we moved out here,
Oh
or at
my
least for
God.
me, because like there was one night where we had, it was like the first 2 months we were here, so we did a little bit of drinking and
Yeah.
had a good bit.
Yeah, doing some Vegas-y shit,
good
right on.
Vegas-y shit, and we walked out of a freaking casino at like 12:30, like 30 minutes after midnight, and it was like 99 degrees, and I'm drunk, and I am a big guy. I was so upset, and in that moment, I was like, "Did I make a mistake moving here?" It was. You get used to it, but it was just like it's like it's assaulting you.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
do.
being
I
shoved
do
in the
like it
face.
out here. I
Yeah.
do like it out
Me-
here.
me too.
It's on our list of places we think we would be interested in.
Mhm.
I think we've changed timeline. I think we're gonna lock in at St. Louis for a little bit. I'm really excited about the feeling that Dope has right now, and we're gonna do some cool stuff with it. The Halloween party was a really good feeling.
Yeah.
And so now I think kind of the plan is I want to do like open gym on Sunday.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's cool.
And so free open gym, 10 to 2, and basically
Yeah, that's
like
so cool.
Sunday service.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like come in, vibe, like you want a sauna or cold tub or fucking lift or hang out.
Yeah.
Just come be.
Yeah.
I love
it's a
that,
cool
dude.
space
That's
for
so
people to
fucking
go to.
Yeah. Sit and watch fucking movies with us. I don't give a shit. We're talking about throwing a sleepover.
That's
Like if I can
sick.
have people come in, we'll hang out. I'll bring in someone to do some breath work with the group. We can do some other stuff, watch a fucking movie, and
Yeah.
fucking bake and sleep in tents in the gym. I don't give a shit.
That's
I just
fucking-
want to do
You
weird
guys
shit.
are just
That's
big ass kids.
Dude,
I love it.
let me get out of y'all's hair. Go see
All
what the Quans are up. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for
Dude,
having
thank
us
you
on.
guys.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, you came to our house. We're
Yeah.
fucking hanging out.
Hey, man. This is what I do.
Yeah.
I travel.
I dig it.
So, thank you guys again.
Yeah.
See you next week.